Today we're going to be making dubstep sounds like the pros. If you guys like these sounds, they're in my new preset pack, Nemesis Volume 1. The link will be in the description. You could use code Nemesis30 for 30% off any preset pack on my store until the end of May. Let's dive in with a new patch of Serum. The first thing we're going to want to do is pick a wavetable with a ton of harmonics. So a saw wave is good for this one actually, and I'm going to turn the unison up to like 12, turn the detune back a good bit, and I'm going to want to turn the random phasing all the way down and then go into the global here and turn the width on this oscillator all the way down. So what's going to happen is that since we have 12 voices detuned, we're going to have the exact same waveform starting at the exact same phase, playing at slightly different frequencies, which is going to cause periodic phase cancellation to give it like a meow. So I'm just going to put some tube distortion on this guy right here, and then the multi-band compression, put the gain up a good bit. I'm just going to turn this down 2 octaves as well. And we're going to go to the menu here, resample to oscillator A. So it's basically just going to turn the sound we have into a wavetable. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the effects off now, and then bring this back to 1 voices unison. And we're just going to iterate through the wavetables we have here. And I'm going to turn this rate at like 8 bars so we can just hear what's going on. I wanted to turn this on 8 bars because if we have it something really fast, there's a ton of wavetables that it has to iterate through, so it would just sound like a big mess. Okay, so let's fine tune the wavetables we actually want to iterate through because there's too much going on here. So let's just get rid of everything on the wavetable. I like this one, and then we'll have this one iterate up to maybe a couple ones after that. So I'm going to go add remove beginning to selected. And then maybe I'll choose this guy over here, and then I'm going to remove selected to end. So now we have these 2 wavetables that are kind of in a shorter range than we had before now. Now what I'm going to want to do is process, normalize each, and then I'm going to spectral morph the beginning to the end. Since we only have 44 wavetables left, and I want it to be 256 so that it flows through very smoothly. Let's listen to what we have now, and I'll put this at 1 bar. Okay, cool. Now let's take another wavetable. So one of these spectral ones. I'm going to do Monster 4 for this. Again, something with a lot of harmonics. We'll bring this one down to the same octave. That's a nice colorful wavetable, and I'm just going to turn this up to like 10 voices unison. All right, we have really nice movement going on now, so I'm going to go to some crazy filter. Now, you could use maybe the reverb filter if you want. You could use the Combs filter. I like this Combs filter. I'm going to do this one, although this one and the reverb one are very, very similar. Let's go with the Combs anyways. The reverb and the Combs are super similar. But let's route both of our oscillators to here. And now let's just start messing with stuff. Sounding really sick right now. Let's jump into the effects now. So I'm going to turn on the distortion and multi-band compression again. And we could also experiment with different types of distortion. You could do this sine fold one. That one's kind of a lot. Sounding really, really, really dirty right now. Let's get an EQ and do some funky stuff with the vowel. You can put this maybe before or after the compressor, and you could, experiment however you want. I'm going to create maybe like a peak there and a notch right here. And then let's take another LFO, maybe one that's going like half speed. Make sure these are both on trig, by the way. What that means is that they're both just gonna start the LFO when the note starts playing and not randomly. Yeah, we got some super nice movement there now, and we could mess with this one also. I do not like that as much. Let's try the other way maybe. I think that's a sweet spot right there. Let's leave that. And we can add like another crazy filter in there too. Let's try a notch filter. I'm going to go notch 24 right here. Turn up the resonance and drive. And again, you guys can mess with this however you really want to. I think that is really, really dope. So you could either leave your sound as it is right now, or you can put more effects on it. So If I want to, I can put like a phaser after the compressor before the EQ, turn the feedback all the way down, the depth down a good bit. Mix, maybe we'll have it on like 60 to 70%, or really however you want it. And then I could have, let's say, another LFO in here, maybe a quarter note rate, messing with the frequency of the phase. That's a cool touch up. I could add some hyper dimension in here to give it some width as well. I'm just going to turn the hyper all the way down, the size and the dimension all the way down, and then the mix up to maybe about 30%, and we'll see how that sounds. Some subtle width there. I know we already have something with a lot of unison and detune, so the hyper dimension is not doing too much, but it does add a little bit of width. Again, these last effects are just like polishing up a sound that we already have. Is nice. We're not really messing with the body of the sound at this point. We're just touching it up. So I could also add a flanger and turn the depth down a good bit, feedback down a lot too, and then I could turn the mix maybe to about 30%. That sounds pretty cool. And then I could also add a chorus if I want to after everything. First thing with the chorus, I turn this low pass filter all the way up so that we still keep all the brightness in there. I'm going to turn the delay one down. The depth is going to be down a good bit, and the mix is going to be down a good bit as well. Lastly, if you're feeling spicy, you could add some like reverb and delay. Maybe I'll do like a dotted 16th and an 8th note. And then I'm going to turn the feedback all the way so that each delay signal only plays once. And then we could leave the mix alone, I guess. And then I'll add some very slight reverb, but I'm going to turn the size and decay actually all the way down, low cut up. Okay, I don't think I like the delay on this sound. I'm just going to turn that off, and maybe we can turn the decay up and the size up just a little bit on the reverb. That's sounding super sick right now, so I also want to make sure this is completely in mono and that we can have some portamento, but not checked on always, just in case you don't want to have it. You could have the notes overlap and then it will activate the portamento, but if the notes aren't overlapping, it won't activate the portamento. And then we're also just going to have this sub on direct out with no processing. We can just leave it as a sine wave and turn it down maybe 2 or 3 octaves. I think I'll leave it at -2. We don't really need it too much because this wavetable and oscillator A that I have going already has the fundamental harmonic. Just if I want to accentuate it a bit, I could put on the sub on direct out. And yeah guys, this is pretty much the sound. It is really, really powerful. Perfect sound for dubstep, bass house, drum and bass, all your super heavy bass genres. So if you guys like this preset and want many others like it, I just launched my new pack, Nemesis Volume 1. It's got 50 presets, perfect for dubstep, bass house, and drum and bass. It's only $25, but you can get it for 30% off using code Nemesis30 until the end of May. This promo code is also going to work for 30% off any of my other packs on my website, just in case you're not really looking for dubstep sounds, but maybe stuff for techno, tech house, melodic house. I got it all. As always, thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.